Welcome to Thingamajigs, the exciting history of mundane things. I am Ben.
And I'm Danielle. It's Saturday. Who doesn't love a Saturday? I guess people that work on Saturdays. I didn't work today.
Good for you. Let that privilege flag fly.
I'm all comfy. I'm in my black kitty cat nightgown. I just took a shower. Showers are great.
They're okay.
You feel rejuvenated after you get out of a shower.
You might.
You know what I didn't do today?
What's that?
I did not put on any makeup. We're going to talk about makeup.
Makeup?
Mm-hmm.
What's that thing's deal?
Well, you put it on your face. I suppose you could put it anywhere. Just most people put it on their face.
Oh, is that the things you put on there that helps you see good?
No, those are those are glasses. We already did that.
Oh, okay. We did?
Yeah.
Well, what are those things about?
You got to go back and listen to that episode, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'll be right back, and after I'm done listening, we'll cut back into this episode. And we're back. Thrilling stuff. I didn't know about that thing with the people. Crazy.
Why don't I take you out of this, whatever it is that you're doing here, and we go back in time to 5000 BC Egypt.
Okay, let me transport there. What are we doing here?
Well, we are going to observe the cosmetic practices of Egyptian people.
Let us observe. Aroused.
What? Why are we aroused?
Are you not aroused?
I'm never aroused.
No, it's the pyramids. They get me harder than the stones from which they're built.
So cosmetics were an integral part of Egyptian life. What do you think of when you think of Egyptians?
Pyramids.
Okay, what is something else you think of when you think of Egyptians? And if you say slave labor to build the pyramids, we're going to stop this show right now.
I think about Medusa and how I'd like to get in that.
Isn't that Greek mythology? We'll fact check that in
And then we'll cut right back. So I just fact checked it, and I was definitely right the whole time.
He did not fact check that.
Are you insinuating that I would just say that we're going to cut right back, take a brief pause, and then start speaking again?
Well, I am because I just witnessed it.
Slander.
One of the things I think of when we look back on Egyptians is their bold kohl eyeliner. It was made of rocks that they ground into a powder and then added a water-soluble gum and then applied with a kohl stick. These cosmetics contained lead, which obviously had some detrimental side effects. I also found that some believe that makeup held a spiritual aspect, which is not hard to imagine considering a lot of peoples back then had some kind of spiritual connection to everything. They believed that makeup in general had a protective function against evil influences, as well as everyday annoyances like the brightness of the sun, which makes me wonder if it had more to do with cutting the glare. Like, was the sun evil?
Well, yes, we all know that the sun is an evil spirit sent to give us melanoma.
The sun is a deadly laser. The various containers and palettes might be decorated with symbols associated with rejuvenation. Animal pigments could be added to bestow the wearer with their perceived power.
Their spirit animal.
If I could pick an animal to put in my makeup, I would choose the hedgehog.
That's the powers you want?
Yeah, he's so fast.
I think you're thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's a hedgehog. Why can't I have Sonic the Hedgehog eye makeup?
I don't know if that's a product already, but if it's not, they need to make it one.
It probably is. It's important to remember this was not a specifically feminine thing. Men and women alike adorned their faces with makeup.
Good for men.
Which I do enjoy eyeliner on men. I think that it's kind of sexy.
Yeah, you gotta show off those peepers if you got them.
Oh, dude. Men with blue eyes and eyeliner.
I don't know about that. I know there's that guy on Lost. He's so mysterious, and he has those dark eyes.
I didn't watch Lost.
Well, now we need to watch all 7 seasons.
That sounds like a large commitment of time.
It is, but no one ever makes it past season 3, so it's okay.
So I can watch up to season 3 and then just make the rest of it up?
Yes, because that's what they did when they were making the show.
So Romans, on the other hand, used makeup, but they played to the natural side with fine powders, again, lead-based. They used plants and fruits for colorant. They focused more on honey and oils in their various skincare products to enhance their natural skin.
They were really into lead back then.
Well, it was everywhere. It was easy to get to. It had a lot of properties.
Little did they know how quickly things would turn south. What are they going to come up with next? Asbestos is bad for you? Come on. It's all a conspiracy. That's what I'm trying to say.
If you have asbestos, please seek help. There's a commercial that you can watch that you can get some kind of settlement for.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with...
Mesothelioma?
Is that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, mesothelioma.
Makeup products, especially rouge, were associated with sex workers and hence were considered a sign of shamelessness. Now, theatrical performers were of the few classes of people who were expected to use cosmetics. We see personal writings of Roman doctors and philosophers with opinions against the use of makeup. For example, Seneca the Younger, in a letter to his mother, praised her for never defiling her face with paints or cosmetics.
It's a good mom.
I don't think that's the basis for a good mother.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, she feeds you, bathes you, and doesn't look like a whore. That's the criteria, I think.
It's a good thing we're not parents. I'm pretty sure we would have somebody look into our parenting home. Some of this was at least partially rooted in Stoicism, which alike was rooted in moral goodness. Decorating your person implied selfishness or vanity, which leaves the loophole of enhancing your natural beauty instead of decorating it.
Sounds like the same thing, but okay.
No, as long as it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup, but you're wearing makeup. It's one of those things where you just enhance the things that are already there so that when someone looks at you, they say, oh, wow, that person is very attractive. And not, oh, wow, that person's eyelids are purple and their lips are orange.
I guess that checks out. If your natural beauty is orange lips, you probably need to see someone about that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe you just ate too many Cheetos. Although they didn't have Cheetos, so maybe that's not a good example.
They only had Doritos.
Ooh, carrots. Maybe they ate too many carrots and their skin is orange.
Is that a real thing? I think.
It is a real thing.
No way.
Yeah, it is a real thing.
That's baloney.
You have to eat an incredible amount of carrots to get enough keratin to turn your skin orange, but it can happen.
I'm going to try that.
So the Chinese used a very light-colored or white foundation powder. They wanted to distinguish themselves from the working class, so they didn't want to have tan skin because, you know, people out in the fields working would be darker, and so they wanted to be as light as possible, which still prevails to this day. When I went to Japan, they were very concerned about long sleeves, giant hats to keep the sun off of them. They want to be as light as possible.
Yeah, they still put on a lot of makeup to make themselves quite pale.
We're going to get into the geishas, but I do want to add, on my flight to Okinawa, we landed in Tokyo, all of the flight attendants looked like modern geishas. Their faces were very light-skinned. They looked like, it's the closest I've ever seen to a geisha in real life.
I wonder if that's something that they're encouraged to do specifically so that, like, tourists will see them and be like, ooh, it's a real Asian person.
I hope not, because that's a really weird phrase to say. Any Asian person you see is a real Asian person.
And it's kind of like anytime you go to a tourist destination, they really lean into it. Like if you go to Mexico, they have all those fun, wacky, colorful buildings and taquitos for sale at $5 each.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't go up to them and ask them, hey, why do you wear your makeup like that?
Hey, Whitey, what's your deal?
They also wore strong red powder on their cheeks and darkened their eyebrows. The pigment used in most of their cosmetics was created by boiling plants, animal fats, and spices, which I think means there wasn't any lead, but I'm not sure.
It's a good sign.
Chinese royalty used nail polish to represent their social status. So high-ranking leaders wore silver or gold polish, and low-ranking leaders would wear black or red. And if you were poor, you were forbidden from wearing any polish.
So they were like color coding their nails so you knew what their deal was?
Yeah, I suppose that's a way you could describe that.
Fascinating.
So the basis for Japanese makeup standards were imported from China, but they broke free from that influence and created a more distinct aesthetic of their own. This included straight long hair, white powdered faces, they repainted eyebrows. But the strangest of all of their practices was ohagoro.
What's that deal?
It's a practice of staining teeth black. During this period, cosmetics generally centered on a palette of red, white, and black.
And that was attractive?
Yes, it was attractive. Pitch black items was immensely beautiful, and it's only natural that people would want to get closer to it. It's the equivalent of bleaching our teeth today.
Which is dumb, by the way. Don't do that. I mean, I don't think it's like harmful. Well, if you're actually bleaching your teeth, that might be a bad idea. But teeth aren't white. They're not white. Why are you making your teeth white? They're not white. Put up a piece of paper next to you. Do a napkin test. I dare you. Which is dumb, by the way. Invented by Colgate, probably. This is not a conspiracy theory this time. This is real life. Teeth aren't white. Stop it. What were we talking about again?
Staining teeth black.
Right. Stop whitening your teeth. Start staining them black.
Well...
Was that what I was getting at? I don't remember.
No. I mean, you can if you want to, but it is not a standard here, so you will probably get some very strange looks.
That'd be pretty cool.
It was made out of ferric acetate from iron filings mixed with vinegar and tannins from vegetables or teas. I guess if you were iron deficient, this would be great.
That's a good point.
My mom was iron deficient, and the doctor told her that she should start cooking with cast iron to get the iron into her food. And spinach. So it was used for celebrating coming of age for girls and boys, mostly around the age of 15. So dyeing your teeth black for the first time signified becoming an adult. It was also done by adult aristocrats and nobles, regardless of gender, on a daily basis. But it was banned by Meiji government in 1870. I don't know why, but I do know there is some lore around a Japanese demon called Ohagoro Betari. If you spot a beautiful woman at night standing on the grounds of a temple or shrine, beware. She might look very pretty from behind, but if you get close enough, she turns around and shows you her real face. Eyeless and terrifying with a mouthful of sharp, pitch black teeth.
I don't know. I think she's kind of cute. Maybe if you try and get to know her, you might find something special.
Are we about to do some kind of backstory on this Japanese demon lady where, I don't know, maybe she saw something horrible and now she doesn't have any eyes and she walks around and that's why her teeth are so black, because she's depressed?
Teeth are black because she painted them that way. Because she's trying to look pretty to find her lover. And I don't know about you, but it's going in my fanfic.
Okay. So someone took her eyes and now she has to find her lover to get them back.
Yes, she can only see once she has her true love's kiss. Beautiful stuff.
I feel like anybody who knows the real story about this lady is just seething right now.
Yeah, we're probably going to get some letters about that.
Letters? No one's written a letter since like 1843.
We're probably going to get some VHS rants about that one sent to our
No
mailbox.
one's made a VHS since like 1990.
That's not true. Technology Connections made one for his video the other week, so checkmate.
He made a VHS.
Yeah, and some Betamaxes.
Boring. All right.
It's really cool, actually. I want to get a beta cam.
Is that where you get, like, a home video of a beta fish?
It's where you set up a webcam in front of your beta fish and live stream it to Twitch. Check out our beta cam coming soon.
We can't have a fish. We have a cat.
Twitch.tv/beta cam.
Our pets would not live in harmony together.
What if we put a coexist bumper sticker on the fish tank?
Ophi can't read. And I don't think the fish can either. And if it could, it would be backwards and all wobbly.
How dare you say my cat can't read? She can do anything.
Indigenous peoples also used makeup for various things. There were specific symbols that had meanings, and different colors had meanings as well. They could use makeup to distinguish themselves from others. A hierarchy within the tribe. They had makeup for different occasions, and of course there was a spiritual aspect. They also used natural ingredients like ash and plants and vibrant bugs, but I didn't dive too deep into it because it's debatable whether this was makeup or body paint, since we're not talking about body paint.
I know they're always depicted with just like body paint, kind of like stripes and stuff, but I don't know how much of that was history and how much of that was white people.
White people be like that.
They really do sometime.
So Queen Elizabeth I is someone who comes to mind when we think of outrageous makeup. She was a queen who was regarded for her beauty, but at the age of 29 in 1562, she contracted smallpox. This disease caused small blisters or pustules that split before drying and formed scabs that left scars.
Pustules. That is the most vile of words.
I didn't enjoy the word split.
Splitting pustules. Check out Splitting Pustules on SoundCloud.
When she was first diagnosed, she called her doctor a fool and sent him away. But after a while of her not getting better, they called him back and he again told them it's smallpox. And she was very displeased and also almost dead. But she didn't die. She was just somewhat disfigured, which led to her iconic white face. She used what was known as Venetian ceruse.
I know that. They call it white lead. Cool name.
A mixture of vinegar and lead. Most ladies smeared the mixture across their faces, neck, and décolletage.
They're what?
Décolletage?
They're what?
Décolletage.
What?
Should I say it slower? Décolletage.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
Do you know what that means?
Not at all.
It's like cleavage.
Oh, those nice round titty soup that was sitting in that nice bowl of corset.
Clearly, the issue with this product is the lead component, which, if used over an extended period of time, can cause illness and even death. And if it didn't do those things, it would make your skin look more gray and wrinkled, which probably made her want to use it even more. They would leave the makeup on for sometimes a whole week, and even when they did wash it off, I found a recipe for the cleanser.
Good, they have a cleanser to get all that lead out. That ought to be good.
It's rose water, honey,
Nice.
eggshell,
Oh, yeah.
and mercury.
Oh, so close.
On top of that, they would use belladonna drops in their eyes to dilate their pupils to look more seductive.
Well, that sounds pretty. What's belladonna?
It's poisonous.
Oh.
So it means beautiful woman, and it is a deadly nightshade.
Deadly nightshade in your eye. How do you like that?
They just kept making terrible decisions after terrible decision.
I got the lead off my skin. Let's rub some mercury in there and some nightshade in my eye for good measure.
Many believe it was the lead poisoning that caused her death at the age of 69 in 1603, but this is debatable. It definitely did not help, that's for certain.
69, I feel like that's a pretty good age for that era.
Well, I mean, that whole people didn't live as long thing is just an average of everybody.
Oh, I guess since she was royalty, she probably should have lived a little longer.
Do you think that you live longer if you're...
I think that you live longer if you're chilling in a castle instead of plowing your fields all day. Yeah.
I don't have any basis for this, but I would think that you would be at a higher risk being a monarch because people plowing their fields didn't come in contact with as many other people, whereas the monarch had all kinds of people coming in and out of their court. You'd think that that person would be exposed to more diseases than the person that was in like this small village plowing his field.
Consider this. She got a disease and she called a doctor. Twice.
It was like having a monkey that could cut you open and bleed you and tell you, oh, your yellow bile is too high. We probably need to give you some laudanum.
Well, much like modern times, only the rich could afford a doctor, so at least they got some cocaine about it.
I'll give you that one. They had plenty of drugs, that's for sure. Not that they did much, but they sure made you feel good.
Ah, the good old days.
Or they made you pee, or they made you poop, or vomit, or whatever. Either way, there was always an effect.
Whatever gets those biles out.
So Queen Victoria had a very different opinion about makeup. She declared it unladylike and vulgar. And so the fashion trended away from adorning your face because people looked to the monarch for fashion advice. They were their celebrities.
I know I do.
We don't have a monarch.
Who have I been dressing up as?
This created a big backlash for women who wore dark makeup. They were again viewed as, I'm going to say prostitutes, because that's what they were called at the time, but we use the term sex worker now, just to be clear. Though many women didn't give up makeup entirely, they would do it in secret, and who's to say they didn't have naturally rosy cheeks? You add a little soot to petroleum jelly and bam, you've got mascara.
I do that all the time.
Is that where all of my petroleum jelly has been going?
A man can do multiple things with petroleum jelly.
Ooh. Or they would pinch their cheeks to get them to pink up, or suck on a lemon, again, to draw color. Eat that greasy drumstick a little too ferociously and really spread that gloss around.
Ew.
There were ways to get around the persecution as long as you weren't really painting up your face, is what I'm trying to say. In the early 20th century, the first pressed powders were created alongside a compact mirror and puff for application. When I say puff, do you know what I mean?
Isn't that one of them little sponges that you
Yeah.
hit yourself in the face with?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't really spongy. They were kind of puffy. This was soon followed by pressed blush and in the 1920s, the invention of the eyelash curler. Movie stars began to popularize makeup, and that is when we see the dark makeup come back. Celebrities like Audrey Hepburn with her deep red lips and outlined cat eyes, which she is just darling. I like to mimic her makeup style.
She is a hottie.
So I decided to look for weird ingredients in makeup today, and I have a fun list here. Use the word fun loosely.
Hit me with it.
Snail secretions.
Oh. Somebody out there right now, as you're listening to this, is milking a snail.
Well, supposedly it's very moisturizing.
Well, at least their hands are going to be baby soft.
Oh, that is a fun side effect. Sheep grease.
Ew.
It's used in lotions and makeup removers and many lipsticks. Supposedly it increases smooth skin.
Sheep grease on your lips.
And other places, yes.
Sheep grease.
Bird poop.
No, ew.
It contains urea and guanine. Urea helps moisture bind to the skin. I'm finding a pattern here. Most of it has to do with moisturizing. Oh, it gets better. Are you ready?
Okay.
Infant foreskin.
Oh, God. No, yeah, I heard about that one.
I have no idea what this does, but it's very expensive, and apparently Oprah Winfrey used it or is using it along with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
She called it a penis facial.
She was on Ellen talking about it. She said it did wonders, so I don't know if she is bonkers. I can't see how it actually does anything.
I think it has to do with stem cells. I have no idea. This is all speculation.
I would love an investigation into the ethical harvesting of baby foreskin.
I have debated this with myself a lot. I'm not really sure how you decide that for another human being who can't consent to it, but also imagine that they did want that done to themselves and then having to get it done as an adult. Either way, it's awful.
Oh, I've had 3. It's not that bad.
What?
Yeah, it just kept growing back. Miracle baby, they called me.
You've had 3?
Circumcisions, yes. It was either that or fillings. I don't really remember.
I think you better ask your mom about that. Fish scales. This one is to add shimmer to glosses or eyeshadows or lipsticks. I have sparkly nail polish on right now. It could be fish scales.
I'm cool with that one. You know, if you're gonna be catching fish anyway, might as well use the whole fish. And sparkles are pretty, so that's cool.
Oil from a shark's liver. Again, moisturizing, apparently.
Why are the moisturizing ones always awful?
Cochineal beetles.
I know those.
When these beetles are crushed, they release a vibrant red dye.
Yeah, it's in your food.
Red dye number 4.
Red number 4.
So, I do have one more thing that is not in makeup. Bat poop is not used in cosmetics. I'm going to say that again. Bat poop is not used in cosmetics. It's a misconception because guano refers to pretty much any excrement that is from birds or bats or seals for some reason.
I was led to believe that bat poop was in makeup. Can't believe I was lied to.
I was led to believe that it was in mascara, and I was really freaked out by mascara for a good while.
But bird poop is in makeup.
Sure is. Along with sheep grease and snail secretions.
Is that better than bat poop?
I feel like there's always some kind of disease coming from bats, so probably.
They are nasty little guys there.
It'd be like promoting rat turds. Get your plague makeup. Which rats kind of got a bad rap for that. It was the fleas.
Yeah, I get rat poop on all my hot dogs anytime I'm in New York. Anywho, all of those horrible, horrible things that were and are in makeup. That's food for thought.
Well, at least we stopped poisoning ourselves. We just now put gross things in it that are completely safe. If it really bothers you, just buy vegan makeup. That is a thing.
Is it very expensive?
I mean, it's more expensive than drugstore makeup, but you can guarantee that there aren't any animal products and that it's also not tested on animals. I test all my products on our cat.
Is that right?
We like to have matching nails. That's not actually true. Ophi would never let me touch her feet in such a manner. It would be fun. I'm always jealous of dog people who get to take their dogs on walks and paint their nails and, do cute things like that.
Put sweaters on them. Ophi wouldn't like that.
No, she would not. She's already wearing a sweater of black because she's black.
Her fur is black. She's gray.
That is accurate.
Although is fur a part of her? Vsauce. Michael here.
That's all I got.
What a fascinating journey. Thank you for listening to Thingamajigs, the exciting history of mundane things. I am Ben.
And I'm Danielle. Have a fantastic existence. Grab a goose.
And milk a snail.
Blush.
Nah, go! Forgive me, but you look for me. Forgive me, but you look for me.